Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters video. Yet another entry into my series, this one a pretty unique monster or cryptid, one just solely based on the characteristic, the actions that it does that I have never seen with regards to any other animal on there. So very fascinating stuff. That's the reason why I picked this particular cryptid, is because after reading and doing some research on it, it is by far one of the most unique animals when it comes to one single action that it does, and I'll highlight that here in a minute. So the name of this cryptid is called the Gulon. Gulon, the Gulon, I hope I'm saying that right. But apparently it's an amalgamation of several different animals in one. You'll see a picture of it here. It's supposed to be the size of like a dog, probably a very larger dog, not the smaller breeds, in other words. But it's also something that has several like cat-like features. So you'll see a picture of it here. So it has, again, the body of a dog, very large dog. It has very shaggy fur covering it, usually in either a brown color or, as you'll see in this picture here, like a bluish type coloring. And then with regards to its head actually adapts more of a cat-like featurette. So it has like a cat-like nose, cat-like mouth. The ears in particular are far more cat-like. It has long claws as well. And then it also has a very long tail. So again, it's a big mixture. If you combine a dog and a cat and then just stir it and then see what the outcome is, this is what you'll get on here. So the Gulon, apparently it originated in what is now Scandinavia and Germany. So it's from that area on there. It is a creature that is apparently also extinct because of its very unique characteristic. I tried seeing if there was any other more recent sightings of the Gulon, but no, nothing like that has come out yet. So the reason for it is because of its unique characteristic, which is this. Apparently it is a creature that gorges itself almost to death. So here's what it does. Its sole purpose apparently is to eat. It loves to eat. It loves food. It loves eating food. It is apparently so famous for this that it has been known since then as a symbol of gluttony. Pure 100% gluttony on there. And the reason for this is because of the fact that because it loves to eat so much, it will kill an animal and then it will just eat and eat and eat that animal far more than it would need to survive. In fact, the people that have seen it at the time reported that it would eat so much that its body would swell like in quote-unquote barrel. So it would swell far larger than its stomach, so much so that its body would essentially swell up like a balloon. And so with regards to this creature, it loves to eat so much that it would do this, and then it would find itself in a position where it was easy prey in its own merit for other predators. So here's a creature that loves to kill, loves to eat, but eats so much that it in fact becomes immobile, and then it itself becomes easy prey for others. That's why, again, this is a creature that is apparently extinct because of its characteristic. The only way that it could stay alive after it gorged itself on all its food is it would apparently try to find some trees, some smaller lined trees that are close to one another, and then it would press its fat, bloated body through the trees until it actually regurgitated the food. I know it sounds disgusting, but that's apparently what it did. And the sole reason it would do this is because after it finished essentially throwing up all its food, then it would go back to eating again until it was full, and then the process would be repeated. Again, so unique. I have never heard of a creature doing this like anything else. Probably the closest thing that we have on something like this is, anything involving humans, and humans that become let's say, morbidly obese on that part. But even then, they don't do it to the point where they're practically killing themselves at that point. No, this creature is the only one that has that unique characteristic. There's no mention as to why it has such a voracious appetite, why it absolutely loves to eat on there. It kind of reminds me of the notion of the medium, the particular shows that are taking over all of Hollywood and all of TV, and those have to do with zombies. Zombies are, of course, famous for just wanting to eat and eat and eat. There's nothing that they want to do. They essentially do what have this mentality 24 hours a day. All they want to do is just eat 100% flesh. And so with regards to this particular creature, the Gulon, it's very similar with that regard. All it wants to do is eat and then gorge itself completely full, and then try to find some way, whether it's between two trees or two rocks or anything like that, and then try to find some way to throw its food up, and then it'll start the process. Very disgusting, but apparently very true, because there were multiple reports early on that this was what the creature had. In fact, these are some quotes associated with some people that essentially found the creature and observed it, either from afar or close by. There was one by a gentleman named Olaus Magnus. With a name like that, it kind of tells you that this is not something from the year 1990 something. No, this is probably from who knows how many hundreds of years back. But here's what Olaus Magnus was apparently stated to say. He said about the Gulon, he said, he is as great as a dog. He is as great as a great dog, and his ears and face are like a cat's. His feet and nails are very sharp. His body is hairy, with long brown hair. His tail is somewhat shorter, but his hair is thicker, and of this they make brave winter caps. Wherefore this creature is the most voracious, for when he finds a carcass, he devours so much that his body, by overmuch meat, is stretched like a drum. And finding a straight passage between trees, he presseth between them, and he may discharge his body by violence, and this being emptied, he returns to the carcass and fills himself top full. Pretty straightforward. There you go. Again, a good reiteration exactly of what I just mentioned on here with regards to the Gulon, and what it does on there. There's another quote from somebody named Topsell. I have no idea if that's the person's first name or last name, but that's the only one listed. And this is what he has to say. He says, "This beast was not known by the ancients, but hath been since discovered in the northern parts of the world. When it have found a dead carcass, he eateth thereof so violently that his bell standeth out like a bell. Then he seeketh for some narrow passage between two trees, and there dwarf his body by pressing, whereof he driveth out the meat which he had eaten, and being so emptied, returneth and devoureth as much as he did before." The way that this Topsell apparently mentioned several words with them ending in F, like standeth and driveth and emptied, like returneth. It kind of denotes again that this gentleman is not sometime recent. He was no doubt several centuries back on with regards to his experience. But here we have two accounts associated with the Gulon, both of them by two different people, both of them saying the exact same thing. Pretty cool stuff on there. So I tried to see again if the Gulon had anything as far as any recent sightings, but no, nothing to exist on there. Not surprising again, considering that this is a creature that pretty much set itself up very easily to have other predators attack it when it was so focused on just 100% eating. Another interesting fact though associated with the Gulon is apparently it was killed during that time. It was killed for a very particular trait. People would drink its blood, and they would only drink its blood because apparently it had aphrodisiac properties, and it was also served at weddings. Aphrodisiac, of course, being associated with enhancements when it comes to let's say 2 people getting it on there. And it was also apparently mixed with honey at weddings, probably as a special treat, something very sweet to apparently drink. But it was never, like its flesh was apparently never eaten. Instead, just its blood was treated as having some kind of special qualities on there. So, very interesting stuff, the Gulon. If anyone knows any particular stories associated with this particular cryptid, if anybody knows anything else, perhaps even hopefully some more recent ones, then please post your comments, share your thoughts below. It'll be fascinating to hear from everybody else about this unique cryptid. Otherwise, look out for some more videos. I may talk about one cryptid that is probably the most scariest cryptid I have ever come across. I don't even know if I want to talk about this one because it is scary. I mean, this is almost like in the realm of the supernatural, evil spirit type stuff that I don't want to get involved in, but we'll see. If I can find any angles that are more cryptid-like oriented with the Popobawa, that's that cryptid that I'm talking about, then I'll be able to talk about it. But who knows on there, but pretty scary stuff, so you may look out for that sometime soon. So alright everybody, take care as always, bye.